All right, let's look at question number 9 to 12. This passage is about the internet. Not very difficult language, I would say, and it has a pretty different take on the internet. It talks about how it is very difficult to define the term, and then he talks about two of the authors, E.H. Smith and Ben Tarnoff, who actually engage with this problem of defining the internet in a different way. In that, they are very comfortable in using the term internet. They talk about how it came about. They, in a way, trace the history of it in that sense. And then he talks more about Smith's book and how Smith is critical, of course, of the digital public sphere, and he is critical also because he is not able to resist it. So he feels that it's a moral failing on his part. So that's what has been discussed in this RC passage. Coming to the questions. Question 10. The author makes all of the following arguments in the passage except. Now, what is not been made? See, this question is slightly erroneous because of option C. There is a problem with option C in that it should have stopped here. The internet culture is dissimilar to the Californian culture industry. If it stopped here, then this is true. Yes, this is an argument that the author has made. No, actually, this latter part is incorrect because the Californian cultural industry had tangible objects. You were criticizing tangible objects back then. So it should have stopped here, then C is correct, and then A would be the answer. Because this argument the author has not made, that it cannot penetrate our inner thoughts. In fact, the author says it's very entangled in our lives. Okay, so if I show you this, right in the beginning, the author says this fails to capture, basically the definition, fails to capture its entanglement in our culture, politics, and even inner thoughts. That means it is entangled in our inner thoughts. It's able to penetrate our inner thoughts. So A is clearly false as per our passage. Right. A is the answer here. Let's have a look at these also, B and D also. Most people feel hostility towards the internet in part because they are dependent on it. Yes, this is something that is given when we talk about Smith's frustration towards the end, right? And D says the tangible aspects, they fail to capture the extent of its entanglement in our culture. I just read that sentence. So before that, we had talked about how it is cables, wires, etc. But that fails to capture how entangled it is in our inner thoughts, etc. etc. So clearly, our answer is option A here. Okay, that it cannot penetrate because the author says the opposite of it. So this could be tricky because of option C. Okay, and could have been in fact left and not attempted.